why is doing a tension square important?
We get asked this a lot by knitters, and it's very hard to explain it to them if you can't actually show them. So what I've done here is I've knitted 3 squares, all knitted in a DK, a standard DK yarn. This one is knitted on 3.5mm needles, this one on 4mm needles, and this one on 4.5mm needles. So the one knitted on 3.5 is measuring around 11 centimetres. The one on 4.5 is measuring 13 centimetres. So that's 2 centimetres difference. If you don't get your tension right, or you're not using the right needles, that's just done on 30 stitches. Imagine if you had a jumper that had 200 stitches going round. That's really quite a difference in the number of centimetres, and that really affects the size, the width. So it's really important to take that little bit of time out to do a tension square before you start your project. In your pattern for a DK yarn, it might say something like the tension should be 22 stitches and 30 rows to 10 centimetres. We always recommend doing slightly larger piece of knitting to check your tension. So this is, as I said, 30 stitches and it's 36 rows to give you a better all over average, if you like. The first thing that you need to do is block your tension square. Now you can do that by spraying it with a little bit of water and pinning it out. These are called blocking combs, and they're really good because they get you a nice straight edge. The other thing you can do is use an iron, but don't press the iron onto the knitting, just hold it above and give it a little jet of steam. So you can see, and then let the knitting cool down and relax, and then you can measure your tension. So there we go, that's what we would do, is block it like that. Then when it comes to checking the tension, you want to measure this 10 centimetre square to see if you're on the tension specified in your pattern. So what we would do is in both directions just put a pin either side, so you've got 10 centimetres there. That's to check your rows, and also this way to check the number of stitches. One there and one there. There we go. So you can see I can now count my stitches between these pins and count my rows between these pins as well. Some companies do these handy little tension gauges, they call them, where you can just pop this down and then you can check your number of stitches along there. So shall we see what I've got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I've managed to get exactly the right kind of tension for a DK.
But what if I don't have 22 stitches?
So if you have 24 stitches in your 10 centimetres, what that means is your knitting is too tight, so your garment is going to be too small. We would recommend going up half a needle size, so for example from a 4mm to a 4.5, and then checking your tension again. If you have too few stitches in your 10 centimetres, that means your knitting is too loose and you need to come down a needle size to make sure you're hitting the right tension for the pattern that you're knitting.
But if I knitted the same square, I might not get 22 stitches to 10 centimetres because everybody's so individual.
Yes, they are, and that's why equally it's so important to check your tension so that you are hitting what the pattern is specifying. Everybody knits differently, everybody holds the yarn in a different way. Some people are tight, some people are loose. Even the needles that you use, whether you're using metal or wood, that can make a difference to some people. So just spending a little bit of time at the beginning of the pattern can help ensure that the project that you've chosen to knit and you've invested all that time in can turn out just as you'd like it to be.